Introduction. In my final paper, I will explore the concept of prophecy in Judaism is defined by two great figures of Jewish history, Moses Maimonides and Abraham Joshua Heschel, are both influential scholars who have impacted the various streams of Judaism. A simplistic dichotomy could be made between their two perspectives, labeling Maimonides as a rational philosopher and Heschel as a mystical one. The study of Jewish prophecy and the approaches of the two scholars are already complex topics, but we must also address the nature of revelation. To some scholars, Maimonides' and Heschel's perspectives of God seem to be in conflict. One view is considered Aristotelian, while the other is seen as a traditional philosophy in line with the Bible and the Talmud. With these factors in mind, and based on the available data, my paper will support the following contention. Maimonides' and Heschel's different philosophical approaches about the biblical prophets are both within the bounds of classical Judaism. My paper will show that these sages are speaking of the same God of Israel as revealed in the Hebrew Scriptures and Jewish tradition, but from their unique perspectives. The merit of my premise will be demonstrated by reviewing the writings of both of these scholars, such as The Guide and The Prophets. The evaluations of other scholars will also shed light to the multifaceted character of these Torah masters and will aid in examining their perspective on the Israelite prophets. According to the biblical narrative, the mysterious characters known as the prophets bridge the gap between the immanent and transcendent aspects of God. Throughout the Hebrew Bible, the prophets appear as messengers and guides who exhibit a strong temperament and righteous behavior. In one way or another, the various prophets did God's bidding and were involved in major events in the history of Israel. They are also described as warning the masses about God's imminent punishment when they rebelled against his decrees. The first patriarch fulfilled this role, as Abraham is portrayed as an advocate on behalf of both the righteous and the wicked. Quote, "Since he is a prophet, he will intercede for you to save your life." Genesis 20:7. As Jewish mysticism developed, the role of these oracles of God became more defined. The Encyclopedia Judaica describes how the protagonists of the prophetic books challenged their fellow Israelites through their visionary utterances. The institution of prophecy is founded on the basic premise that God does not abandon humans to their own devices, but provides them with divine guidance. In biblical theory, the prophet does not choose his profession, but is chosen, often against his own will, to convey the work of God to his people, regardless of whether or not they wish to hear it. Ezekiel 3:11.